Ever marveled at the beauty of a garden after a fresh rainstorm? What if you could capture that allure while contributing to water conservation? Welcome to the world of rain gardens. Rain gardens are more than just visually appealing landscapes. They're a powerful tool for water management and environmental sustainability. Picture a garden designed to absorb rainwater, directing it away from your home and into the ground. This is the essence of a rain garden. Think of it as your personal stormwater management system, a mini ecosystem right in your backyard, reducing runoff and the risk of flooding. By capturing rainwater, you're helping to replenish groundwater stores, a crucial resource for many communities. But the benefits of rain gardens extend beyond water management. They're a haven for biodiversity. By choosing a variety of native plants, your rain garden can attract a colorful array of birds, butterflies, and beneficial insects. These little creatures not only add to the vibrancy of your garden, but also contribute to the overall health of your local ecosystem. Now, consider the visual appeal. A well-planned rain garden is a feast for the eyes, a splash of color and texture that changes with the seasons. From the delicate bloom of spring flowers to the fiery hues of autumn leaves, your rain garden offers year-round beauty. Rain gardens have been gaining popularity among garden enthusiasts for their dual role in enhancing the beauty of their homes and contributing to environmental conservation. It's a trend that's here to stay, and for good reason. Rain gardens are a testament to the fact that sustainability and beauty can go hand in hand. So, intrigued about creating your own rain garden? Let's dive deeper into the planning phase. The first step towards creating a successful rain garden lies in meticulous planning. When it comes to location, consider a spot that naturally collects rainwater or where water is directed from your roof or driveway. However, avoid areas close to building foundations to prevent water damage. The ideal location is one that receives either full or partial sunlight, as this promotes plant growth and aids in water evaporation. Next, let's talk about size. The size of your rain garden is determined by the area of your roof or driveway that will drain into it. A general rule of thumb is to make the garden about 10 to 30% of the draining area's size. Remember, bigger isn't always better. A smaller, well-designed garden can be just as effective as a larger one. When planning the shape of your rain garden, think natural. Gentle, sweeping curves mimic nature and create a more visually appealing space. The garden should be about twice as long as it is wide, with the longer side running perpendicular to the slope of your yard. Soil type is another critical factor. Rain gardens need well-draining soil to function effectively. If you've got heavy clay soil, you may need to amend it with compost or sand to improve drainage. A simple test to check your soil's drainage capability is to dig a hole about 1 foot deep, fill it with water, and see how long it takes to drain. If it drains within 24 hours, you're good to go. And finally, consider water flow. Understanding how water moves across your landscape will help you determine the best place for your rain garden. You can do this by observing your yard during a heavy rain, noting where water pools and where it drains away quickly. With a well-thought-out plan, you're now ready to choose the right plants for your rain garden. The heart of any garden lies in its plants, and a rain garden is no exception. Choosing the right plants is paramount to the success of your rain garden. They are not just the aesthetic soul but also the functional backbone of your rain garden, absorbing and filtering water, providing food and shelter for local wildlife, and contributing to the overall health of your local environment. The key here is to opt for native species. Native plants have evolved to thrive in your local climate and soil conditions, making them the perfect choice for a rain garden. They are hardy, require less maintenance, and are more likely to survive in the fluctuating moisture levels of a rain garden. Plus, they have the added benefit of supporting local biodiversity, attracting beneficial insects and birds. Now, when we talk about plants for a rain garden, we are essentially looking at 3 zones. The first is the bottom of your garden, the area that will remain wet the longest. Here, you want plants that love having their feet wet, like the marsh marigold or the blue flag iris. The second zone is the slope of your garden, where the soil will be moist but not soggy. This is a great place for plants that can handle occasional standing water, such as the New England aster or the cardinal flower. The third and final zone is the outer edge of your garden, which will be the driest. Here, you can plant species that prefer well-drained soil, like the butterfly weed or the black-eyed Susan. Remember, diversity is key. A mix of grasses, perennials, shrubs, and trees will not only create visual interest, but also support a wider range of wildlife. In the end, the plants you choose should reflect your personal style, your local environment, and the specific conditions of your garden. So, get creative, experiment, and don't be afraid to make changes as you go along. With the right selection of plants, you're now ready to construct your rain garden. Now comes the exciting part, turning your plan into reality. First things first, it's time to mark out the boundaries of your rain garden. Use a hose or a rope to outline the shape you've decided on. Remember, the outline isn't set in stone. Feel free to adjust it until it's the perfect shape and size for your space. Once you're happy with your outline, it's time to start digging. The depth of your garden will depend on a few factors, including your soil type and the amount of runoff you want to capture. As a general rule, aim for a depth of about 6 to 12 inches. You'll want to slope the sides gently toward the center to guide water flow. Now let's talk about soil. Rain gardens need soil that drains well. If you've got heavy clay soil, you might need to amend it with compost or sand to improve drainage. It's also a good idea to add a layer of mulch at the bottom of your garden to aid in water absorption. Next up is shaping. This is where you can really let your creativity shine. You can create a flat bottom or add gentle mounds and depressions to mimic a natural landscape. Just remember, the goal here is to guide water towards the center of the garden, so keep that in mind as you shape. Finally, it's time to plant. Start with your deep-rooted plants in the center of the garden. These will be your workhorses, absorbing the most water. Then, move outwards, planting your medium and shallow-rooted plants. Remember to give each plant plenty of space to grow. Once all your plants are in the ground, give them a good watering to help them settle in. Then, add a layer of mulch around your plants. This will help retain moisture, suppress weeds, and protect your plants from temperature extremes. Remember, patience is key. Your garden may not look like much at first, but give it a season or two, and you'll be amazed at the transformation. Congratulations, you've successfully created your rain garden, but how do you maintain it? A rain garden, like any other, needs regular care and maintenance. Let's talk about the essentials, starting off with mulching. This is a significant step as it helps retain moisture, suppresses weeds, and provides a layer of protection for your plants in colder seasons. Make sure to spread a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch around your plants. Next up, weeding. In the early stages of your rain garden, you might notice some unwanted guests. Regular weeding helps your preferred plants to establish and thrive without competition. Seasonal care is also crucial. Spring is the best time for planting and mulching, while fall is perfect for removing dead plant material and adding new mulch for winter protection. And of course, inspect your garden after heavy rain. Make sure water is infiltrating properly and not eroding the soil or damaging the plants. With these maintenance tips, your rain garden is sure to thrive. But what if you encounter challenges along the way? Even with the best planning and care, you may face some challenges in your rain garden journey. One common issue is standing water. If water stands in your garden for more than 2 days, it can become a breeding ground for mosquitoes. So what's the fix? Ensure your garden is properly graded and consider using more water-tolerant plants to soak up the excess. Next, you might encounter invasive species. These unwelcome guests can outcompete native plants and disrupt your garden's balance. To tackle this, regularly weed your garden and be vigilant about removing any invasive plants you spot. Finally, there's erosion. Heavy rain can wash away your soil and plants. You can curb this by installing a rock border or using deep-rooted plants that hold the soil together. Armed with these solutions, you're well equipped to handle any hurdles on your rain garden journey. So there you have it. The art and science of creating a beautiful, sustainable rain garden. We've journeyed together through the ins and outs of this transformative garden concept, one that bridges aesthetics with function and environmental consciousness. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned. A rain garden, as we've discovered, is more than just a visually appealing feature. It serves as a crucial tool in water management, capturing runoff and allowing it to seep into the ground, reducing the pressure on our storm drains, and replenishing our groundwater reserves. We've also unpacked the process of planning your rain garden. We've learned that choosing the right location is critical. A spot that's not too close to your home to prevent water damage, yet not too far from your downspout to effectively capture runoff. We've also discussed the importance of considering factors such as sunlight, soil type, and the natural flow of water in your yard. We've delved into the exciting world of plant selection for rain gardens. Native plants, we've realized, are the stars of the show, given their adaptability to local climate and soil conditions. These plants are not only water tolerant but also play a vital role in supporting local biodiversity, providing food and habitat for various creatures. Next, we ventured into the construction phase of your rain garden. We've learned that it's not as daunting as it might seem. With some careful planning and a bit of elbow grease, we can transform a patch of our yard into a thriving, water-loving garden. We've also learned about the importance of shaping the garden for optimal water capture and the exciting moment of planting our chosen vegetation. We've also touched on maintenance tips to keep your rain garden healthy and functional. We've learned that while rain gardens are low maintenance, they do require some care. This includes regular weeding, occasional watering during dry spells, and the addition of mulch to retain soil moisture and suppress weeds. Lastly, we've addressed some common challenges you may encounter in your rain garden journey, such as standing water, invasive species, and erosion. And we've also discussed practical solutions to these issues, assuring you that with some foresight and proper care, these challenges can be effectively managed. The journey to creating a rain garden is indeed a fulfilling one. Not only do you get the satisfaction of creating a beautiful landscape feature, but you also contribute significantly to environmental sustainability. Each rain garden is a step towards better water management and a step closer to a greener, more resilient world. So as we wrap up this guide, we want to leave you with a call to action. We encourage you, dear listener, to try your hand at creating your own rain garden. It's a rewarding endeavor, one that brings beauty to your home and benefits the environment. Use the knowledge you've gained from this guide, coupled with your creativity, to create a garden that's not only pleasing to the eye but also a champion of water conservation and biodiversity. So why wait? Start planning your rain garden today and become a part of the solution for water conservation.